to accomplish something. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not willing to go through something to accomplish something. It's too hard. That's too much. I hear people say it all the time. Man, that stuff you do, I couldn't do that. Working that hard and making all those phone calls, get those loads. I can't do it. That's too much. Basically what they're saying, it's easier for them to go work for somebody and be told what to do. That's what's easy. I think they just be talking when they say that. They don't really understand what they're saying. It's like Christ said when they had him up there crucifying him, and he said, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. And I'll say to that, forgive them, Father. They know not what they say. They don't know the consequences of their very words. They don't know. It's that simple. Do you realize that you're receiving your reward of every word that you utter out of your mouth? There's a saying in the church, power of life and death is in the tongue. And that is very true. The power of life and death is in your tongue. The power of success and failure is in your tongue, in the words you utter. Not just the words you utter, the words you think. Because the thinking of the words come before you actually speak it. You have to double down on it, meaning you have to contract with the word before you speak it, right? You think about it, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and you speak it. You think about it, then you decide to speak it. You create a contract with your consciousness. Oh, I accept what this is as the truth, and I'm going to speak it now so that I can solidify it and see that it comes forth. You have to go through something to accomplish something. Say it again. And that static are being sacrificed. And that's, if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
And that static are being sacrificed. And that's, if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
Of his character as a legal obligation during the operation of the discharge. Something of the original vitality of the debt continues to exist, which may be transferred, even though the transferee takes it subject to its disability incident to the discharge. So what they're saying, if you discharge a debt, it doesn't necessarily go away. That debt is still can be collected on. They could pass it on. They could assign it to someone else. So you don't want to do discharge. It's basically what this is saying. You want to be able to extinguish the debt completely, where they're not coming back to you for it. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Inspiration Sunday here with me, your host, Akeem, on Church of Infinite Abundance. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing great. The family's doing great. Everybody's doing really well. Yesterday, well, I started Friday. I decided to make my own bread, a loaf of bread. And it turned out pretty good. And it only had like 4 ingredients in it. You had the flour, the salt, a little bit of salt, water, and the yeast. That's it. You go to the grocery store, they got like 20, 30 different ingredients for a loaf of bread. And it don't even taste that good. I can't eat store-bought bread. The soy, they put soy in it. They got all kinds of chemicals in it. And I can't tolerate it anymore. So I had to, I like bread, let me make my own. So I made some, turned out really, really well. I'm going to continue to make it. Next time I'm going to experiment and throw some other like flavorings in it to spice it up. No sugar in the bread like most brands. They put high fructose corn syrup or some other type of sugar in it. And they put those ingredients in it so that you can overly consume bread. Because that carb, those breads is not really good for you like that. But your own bread, you can tolerate it. But anyway, happy Sunday to everybody. Happy Sunday to Corinne. Happy Sunday to Discipleship Ministry, those who are in the chat. Anybody else, put a thumbs up. Excuse me. Put a thumbs up in the chat. If you like what you're hearing so far or what you're about to hear. We're going to talk about soul contracts. What is a soul contract? But first, I have to give a shout out to someone. Someone else, I had two people build me a website, one for the church and one for Hindsight Radio. Tom Capola. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I left him out the other day when I was shouting out Corinne and Steve for helping me out with my websites. Tom, he just went and built up a website, got it all functional. And I'll show you. We're going to change the logos because it should be Hindsight Radio. He's got the Church of Infinite Abundance up there. That's where I'll have all of my products on. That site is for the products. The church website is basically for inspiration, and there's going to be some spiritual teachings in there at a small fee. There's going to be some fee-based content there. But the website that Tom built was basically for what I already been doing. I'll share the screen with you guys here in a second. Let me move this over here to my second screen. And let me minimize that. And let's see. Let's do a screen share. I hope it's gonna screen share. There it is. That's the website that he put up for me. Looks good, doesn't it? Right? I like it. So got the events page. It's functional but not functional. Like, it's got the products on there, but you can't buy them. You could try to buy them, but it won't go anywhere because I don't have my payment processor. We're gonna change this logo out to my Hindsight Radio logo. When I get it. So that's what it looks like. Shouts out to Tom. I really felt bad I left him out of people who have been helping me. So he has like an AI set up, and he just put that together, and I like it. So that's who's on the team. We got Tom, we got Steve, we got Corinne. That's what it takes to make stuff work. You need a team. And I like teams that, come in and they know what they're doing and they just throw it out there. And we're going to make some money together. We're going to be prosperous together. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. When you have your mind set on something, what happens, the universe brings you people and things and situations, circumstances that align with where you're going. And this kind of touches on what I'm going to talk about today with contracts. Your soul contract. Is your soul contract written in stone? Is it something that you already predetermined what you was going to be when you got here? Now, from my perspective, I say partly yes. You have what you call a open-ended contract with your soul, your being. Like, you have the purpose that you were here to expose to the world. Your true, higher, loving, truthful purpose. Your divine purpose. That is your ultimate contract. How that manifests, that's the contract. But it's open-ended. What I mean by it's open, meaning it evolves. It changes. It can be you being someone who's motivating people with your words, or you motivate people with your finances, physically helping people. It changes. But see, The issue is when we got here, man had a contract for you. These systems had a contract for you to participate in, right? You get into contracts, you don't even know you're in a contract. From the time you were born, someone put you in a contract through the birth certificate and a social security card. They put you in a contract. Without your knowledge, without your consent. Not that now there were the entities that created all of this stuff knew what they were doing, but your parents didn't know. Your mom didn't know what the legal ramification was when she signed all of these things off on you. What kind of debt system she was putting you into. She was born into a contract, a slavery contract, and she signed you over to it. Because you notice your mom doesn't sign as, I'm the mother and this is my child. She signs as a defiant. And let me just take a side note. Let me show you how birth certificates should not ever be considered as evidence. Because your mom went through a tumultuous time. You know, that's a stressful time for a woman to give childbirth. And then they come back and say, oh, you had this child, sign off on this. How did she know? She was so busy trying to deliver this child. She didn't, a lot of times I know with all of the births of my children, the children were just whisked away over to a table. She didn't get to see the child. But they bring the document to her to sign, not the father. Like, I stood over the births of my children. I saw from point to point. I saw them. So I would be a better affiant to the situation than anyone else. But they don't bring it to me. They bring it to the mother for a purpose, to show, because it's not going to be really a legally binding contract. But we all know, most of us know that the birth certificate doesn't represent you. It represents a fiction created for the purpose of legal processes to be under this system. That's what I'm talking about. Those are man's contracts. But what is your divine contract? Are you working in your divine contract? Do you even know what that is at this point? I'll tell you this: when you're born, when you're in your mother's womb, you know what it is. You're totally conscious there. And as soon as you come into this world, something happens, like a spell, makes you forget. Why do you forget? Why do you forget that contract? Because the way births are done in this current system, it cuts short your ability to download completely the information from your mother. See, they cut that, as soon as you come out, they cut the umbilical, boom, and cut off that divine information that she's delivering. She was delivering divine information, divine encoded messages, to help you remember who you really are. If you don't know it, you're going to know, because the woman's womb, the woman represents a divine spiritual portal that we come through. Biological, organic, physical, a portal that we are all come through to get here. And because that's a divine portal, that divine portal has information to give you. Because at that point, she's directly connected to source, to God, as some of us, however you define that. Because when she's giving birth, what is she doing? She's totally focused on that. She ain't focused on nothing else but that. Nothing else is going through her head but, let me deliver this healthy child, deliver this child into this world, into this realm, into this 3D dimension, into this materialistic physical world, healthy. But had your mom knew, your mom knew what real birth is, what a true birth is, she could have put her intentions on from the time you was conceived, making sure you got all of the divine information you needed. See, we're so misled, we're so miseducated on who we really are. Most mothers are working someone's job when she's pregnant up until a certain point, fulfilling someone else's dream and building their business and their legacy. So what do you think that child is getting the whole time while he's in that womb? He's hearing her speak, feeling her. He or she is feeling her, hearing her speak, feeling her emotions. All of that, that child is getting. Why? See, the Bible told you how we're supposed to give birth, because what happened when Mary she was off somewhere till the child came. John the Baptist, same situation, was off in seclusion, away from anything that can come in and interrupt the divine messages that the child was supposed to get while they were in the womb. See, that in itself is a contract. See, our soul's contracts are disrupted by man's law, man's information. Well, I know I'm getting deep on some of y'all. And some of y'all Bible thumpies might not get it, what I'm saying. Because you're caught up on the physical teachings and not the metaphysical. And where did we get start? Where did this all start that we got dysfunctional, that we got off track? It started at the moment of conception. Because if that mom is not getting right information, that divine information, she's passing it on. And if the father's not living out his purpose and being divine, remember, Joseph was about to divorce, and the Holy Spirit came to him, and God said, listen, no, this is what you do in support that the Christ can come through her. See, I already told y'all, all of y'all are versions of the Christ, separated or manifesting as male and female. Can I say it again? You know, you could take it or leave it. Everyone is a version of Christ. Split off and divided by male and female. That's why when a man and woman comes together, they become one Christ consciousness, fulfilling a divine purpose. See, your soul contract is for you to fulfill your divine purpose. Walk in the ways of higher consciousness. Not getting caught up in the small stuff, the things that distracted, the small offenses that people commit, small or big, whatever you want to call it, that people perpetrate. And a lot of times when we're experiencing things through people, we have to look within ourselves and realize that what we're experiencing through that person is a version of what's inside of us. We're creating all the time. We're reaping, and we're sowing. We're reaping and we're sowing. You sow, you reap. What is it that you're sowing right now in this moment? What are you sowing? Because whatever that is, it's going to show up. You're going to see it grow and manifest into something much bigger. So be careful what you're sowing. Okay? From the moment you before you got on the scene, there was someone trying to hijack your divinity. See, if the world loves it when these systems love it when you don't know who you are, because it gets to feed off of you like a vampire. It gets to suck the very divinity right out of you and get you thinking in a lowly state of, I got to go to this job. I got to make this money by clocking in, clocking out. I know, Akeem, you're always on that job thing, man. You don't like people. People say that. You don't like people with jobs, do you? I love people with jobs. And I also love telling them, you don't have to work that job to make a living. You don't have to stay there and suffer to make a living. See, I love doing that. If they'll have me, if they'll accept what I say, if they want me to say it. I don't just run around to everybody on the job who has a job and say this, because not everybody wants to hear that. But anybody that wants to hear it, I love telling them, hey, you can quit the job and make your own living and make your own way, your own divine money. See, when you have divine money, you're doing divine things, nothing can stop you. No evil could come in and take it away. That's why the Bible says, store up your treasures in heaven. Because thieves can't come in there and take it away. And what heaven are we talking about? Right here. What thief can come in here and take your divine ideas from you? Oh, they could take physical stuff. But if you got unlimited divinity of information in here, you can make that stuff back just like that, 10 times the amount. Oh, yeah. People can't take anything away from you. And if it gets taken away from you, guess what? Maybe it was time to let it go. If people walk out on you, don't want to be around you, maybe it was time for them to go. There was something I was studying earlier, a little side note, and I was going to wait till Tuesday, but I'm going to do it. It says, it's darkest before the dawn. That's that saying. It's always darkest before the dawn. Things always seem to go bad right. Right. Let me see it. Things always seem to go bad right before you trying to do something great. Seems like everything's going good. Let me tell you why. Here's the secret. There's a reason why. It took me a while to figure that out. And I had the epiphany this morning. I was listening to something, and I was trying to understand. I was listening to something, and what I was listening to told me the answer, gave me the answer. The reason why things go wrong right before they go really right, because it's not going wrong. We just perceive it that's going wrong. That, oh, this is just monumental. We make it. We perceive it that way. That's the one thing. Our perception is saying that that's going wrong. And guess what? It's going to look wrong and it's going to feel wrong. But if we change the way we look at it, oh, what, man, things about to get real good because, man, all this is stuff. And the second thing, why it does that, because first, you're being tested to see how serious you are to get to the next level. Can you handle the next level? You can't handle these little problems popping up. You got to get this in order before you can get to the next level. The universe is working. It's telling you, oh, wait, hold. Oh, you about to go to billionaire status. Hold on. Let me give you all the things you need to work out first before you get to billionaire status. Oh, ho. Oh, you want that. You want to quit the job. You want to learn something new so you can quit this job and work for yourself and build a legacy. Oh, hold up, son. Hold up, daughter. Hold up. We got some things we got to work out for. And here's all the stuff you got to get. Here's all your homework you got to get ready. Oh, you lose the job that you already have before you start to working for yourself. You lose that job. Huh? Oh, the car breakdown. Oh. No, the car got to be fixed first because the way you got to go, you're going to need that car. Oh. Your health get bad. Oh, you all of a sudden get really sick. Oh, wait a minute. There was something you wasn't paying attention with your health. You need to take care of that first so that you can be totally healthy and you can reach the people that you want to reach in good health, because it's hard to reach people and you're sickly. You see? See, there's some things that get exposed right before you get to the next level. They got to all be cleaned up. Huh? Finances go bad. Well, I can't. Oh, I want to do this. I got to pay for this coaching and I ain't got them. Oh, wait a minute. That's teaching you how to get creative on how to make some money. And another thing, all that old way you was making money can't go into the new way. Because see, how you budget and manage money with a job may not work with you on your own. See, being on your own takes discipline. You control your time and your day. So when things look like they're going really wrong, that's just an opportunity to clean up some messes before you get over there. That's almost like, because that's a relationship. That new situation is a relationship. Are you going to get into a new relationship if you haven't cleaned up all of the baggage from the old relationship? The old self? That's the way you look at it. That's just where you could process it. But if you sit there, man, things ain't going right. This is always happening to me. And it will always happen to you because you just sowed the seed of something always happening to you. It's not anyone's else's fault. Then some people in a situation like that, they be saying, well, why God be allowing this, doing this, and God this and God that? No, it ain't God. It ain't the God you talking to or talking about. It is a God, it's you. What kind of God are you? Are you a God of wisdom, a God of love, a God of understanding, of compassion? Or are you a God of condemnation and judgment and depression and complaining? Which one? You get to choose who you will be. Not tomorrow, not today. I mean, not yesterday. Now. See, I'm gonna keep reminding you that we keep talking about tomorrow. We keep talking about yesterday, but none of those things exist. Really, ever. You never touch tomorrow and you never touch yesterday. You can only touch, feel, and be in the moment of this present moment or now. That's it. That's all you got. You got infinite amount of those. And how you feel about yourself right now, what you say to yourself right now, what contracts are you setting up for yourself right now is going to determine what your next now is going to be. See, we always say tomorrow. I'm going to stop saying that. What you do right now determines the next now. So we have to be single in our thinking. We only have now. We only have this moment. Everything is happening right now, around the world, around the galaxy, universe, right now. And we are forever standing in this space. We're in and always will be in this now. So understand. So what contracts have you accepted? You know, the definition of contract says this on a physical level, it says a written or spoken agreement, especially one concerning employment, sales, or tenancy that is intended to be enforceable by law. That's what the man's definition of it is. But we have what you call our soul contract, our conscious contract, What contracts are you setting up for yourself? Remember, it says it's a spoken agreement. What spoken agreements are you setting up for yourself? I know some of them. I'm broke all the time. I can't get no money. Those are contracts. That's what you're signing off on. When you say anything negative about your situation, yourself, you are signing off on that. You are telling yourself that's what it is. And that's all you will ever see or perceive. If you see struggle, you will always struggle. But if you speak different words of prosperity, peace, love, and joy in your life, you will see that. So you can find joy, you can find peace, you can find a good in anything just about. You can. Even in your current bad situation, there's something good about it. Here's one good thing, that you recognize that you need to change. That's good. Oh, this is not what I really want my life to be like. Now, that's that recognition of it. Now, what do you want your life to be like? You have to write down. Okay, you got to say it, write it down. I want my life to be peaceful. Okay, you want it to be peaceful. Write that down, right? I want my life to be peaceful. So how do you get a peaceful life? So that means remove yourself from all things that will take your peace. All things, all people, all situation, all television program, all music that's not peaceful. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, move yourself from all that type of content. Yeah, they'll say that problem solved there, right? Oh, I want to think better about myself. I want to think better. I want to have a better perception of myself. Okay, so how do you have a better perception of yourself? Well, here's some suggestions. First thing I will do is look in the mirror and say, I love you to you several times when you get up in the morning and before you go to bed at night. Speak good things to yourself. Tell yourself, I'm great. I'm strong. All the things that you would aspire to be, say those things. I am this. Remember I said it's about now. So you got to speak as if you are what you want to be, as if it is already that way. And then guess what? You just transformed in a blink of an eye, in an instant, by just saying those things. You transform by speaking them things to yourself. Second thing, you got to remove people. Remove people that don't support that. Or you have to be, people are when you're dealing with people, you have to be very observing of their behaviors and their words. You have to pay attention because you'll get caught up in something real quick and don't even know you caught up. You get caught up in some demeaning behavior towards yourself, and they may not even be their intentions, but people are so negative and caught up in thinking that they're telling you something good. Oh, man, you start talking about, man, I want to do this great thing. And then they'll say, you sure you want to do that? Why you want to do that? Because the reason why they're talking like that, because they can't see that for themselves. It's far-fetched. You see it, and that's all that's important, right? Be careful who you're telling these goals to, these things to. They're not going to be as joyous and happy about it as you are. I don't care who it is, because they don't feel it. They're not in you. They don't see what's in your head. You can't expect everybody to feel the same way you do. And I'm not saying that to judge them, because one of the problems for someone who don't feel good about themselves is they're judging themselves harshly. So the first judgment you need to remove is the one on yourself. And then guess what? You'll attract people into your life that won't have judgment. But if you judge yourself harshly, everyone just about in your life will be judging you just as harsh as you do. If you are receiving judgment in your life from people, check yourself, check your consciousness. How hard do you judge yourself? Because remember, people are a reflection of you. Another thing, this took me, I was just thinking, and I need to add this. Fear. You got to remove fear from your life. Not saying that you may not become fearful of things, but when you see that fear, you have to transmute it into something positive. Like you have to, okay, an example I can use is, say you want to skydive. You have a fear of skydiving. The only way you're going to get over fear of skydiving is if you go skydiving, right? Now, that's a little extreme. They have tandem skydives. I want to actually try that. I want to do that, right? So whatever it is you're fearing, in order to get over it, you have to do it. And then once you do it, like, this wasn't so bad. Another example is like roller coasters. You know, that slow trek they take you up. Now roller coasters now take you up fast and then drop you. But take you up that anticipation. Oh, what's this going to? You clench up. And then, but if you get on a roller coaster and you just go with the ride and just relax, it doesn't feel as scary. It just feel like you're just in a ride, just going up and down, flipping around. That's it. But when you brace for it, you get really, you feel every aspect of the ride, and you feel more fearful. But when you just relax, you can pretty much do a roller coaster without being afraid at all if you just relax and go with it. And that's what life is all about. Relax. And deal with it as it comes. Those challenges that pop up, oh, okay. Because see what happens when a challenge pops up, and especially if it's something that potentially is going to hurt you, harm you in some form, what's making you tense up and get anxious is the fear of what may happen if you don't put a stop to it. That's the fear. And you realize once you get past that, sure, it wasn't as bad. Oh, it wasn't that bad. But you was all tense and tightened up because you was in fear of what may happen. Do you realize most of the fear things that we do fear, they don't really turn out exactly how we imagine them to be? They're not as bad. In most cases, it's not. So be careful when it comes to fear. And people have fear on all levels. They have fear about how they look, their finances, how people perceive them. Or you have fear of just, you want to get create your own legacy with a job. People have fear of quitting this job to go to that, making their own money. I tell you, I don't know if I had a real fear of making my own money. I guess it was a sort of fear. Like I had a fear of not making enough money. I knew I could make money, but will I be able to make enough money like this job is paying me? Then you have to you got to put it in perspective. Is this job paying me enough to live the way I really want to live? So why am I in fear of losing this money that they're paying me when the world, what I can go to is unlimited? Having your own is unlimited. It's based on your work, your effort, and your ability to be consistent and move forward. Some of y'all got businesses on the shelf, or you're trying to dibble and dabble in your businesses, and you still got the jobs. And I hear the same excuses or the same stories every time. Oh, it's doing okay. It's mainly because I'm not doing a lot with it, and this. I've heard that year after year after year. I'm like, when I hear it after a while, I say, well, how many times you gonna keep telling yourself that? You know what the problem is. You got to make a decision and stop. See, we make contracts with situations. And we okay with upholding that work contract for the employer, but we're not okay with making a contract and be committed to our own legacy. That's backwards. And that's not good. That we are okay with fulfilling a contract that we know is not going to be a legacy for our family. We okay with that. A lot of us. And we make excuses. I remember so many times I hear people talking about businesses and not really, they don't know they're talking about a business. What they're doing is they're saying, yeah, I like to do this and I'm doing this and this and this and that. And I say, that's a business. This is when you make some money doing that. They don't see it. And then the first thing they'll say, well, I don't know if I can make it work because I got this job over here. You see what I'm saying? I got to work for this guy. And I've learned over the years to shut up when I hear that because there's no way at that point they're ready to receive what I'm trying to tell them. Can't convince people to love themselves, to love their divine calling more than man's calling. When they realize it, they'll come forward. A lot of us who wake up to to the idea that we could be more, that we are divine spiritual beings, and the only thing we need to be working on is our divinity. Once we wake up to the first mistake we make, we try to tell the world, you could do this, you could do that, blah, blah, blah. We try to go out there and force that on people. We can't do that. See, here, my information here, I just put it out here. If somebody comes across it and listen to it, hopefully they'll take something from it. I'm not trying to force or save anybody because I'm still a work in progress. I still got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of contracts to undo. Man's contracts to undo in my mind. Back to spoken agreement. What verbal agreements are you making on a daily basis within your own consciousness? And are those verbal agreements or spoken agreements supporting your divine contract? I can't answer that question for you. You can only answer that question for yourself. Are they supporting? Don't mislead yourself into believing or thinking that your words is not coming back to you void. They are. Your words, when they come out, they are not coming back void. They coming back with fulfillment in the purpose of the intention of when you spoke it. Yes. You will never get any further than the ideas in your mind. You will never get any further than the words you're speaking on a daily basis. You will never get any further than your belief systems about yourself. You are as limited as what you believe and what you think about yourself. You are limited by your education, on what you take in as education, what your religious beliefs are. You're limited by that. Some of us have old doctrine teachings that we're still holding on to and can't figure out why they can't get ahead because you're still holding on to the old you. There's only one way, sure way, for you to make a change. You got to put off the old you and become the new you. You got to put off old things and become a new. See, rewinding back to when I started, how you got here through your mom's divine portal, the divine womb of the woman. And you were cut off. They cut the umbilical cord off. very fast. You know that umbilical cord still is pumping not only nutrients, it's pumping divine information into you, and they cut it off because there's some last minute information that you must get to prepare you for this physical world. See, while you're in your womb, that 9 months, you're getting all kind of information. It's a school. You're in school. You're in a spiritual school, a divine school, even in the womb, receiving information. And just like anybody else, any other school, you got to graduate, right? And the graduation day is your born day, when you actually come into the physical world. But you got to get the diploma. You got to walk across the stage, across that spiritual stage, and get the diploma to graduate. But they cut you off. Once you come out, they cut you off. You still got to get that information. You coming across, as you coming across, coming through the womb, that umbilical cord needs to stay put for a time until it finished downloading information into you. Yeah, but man come in. Y'all do understand what that scripture says. He said it. God said it. In the Bible, it said, I'm going to cut short the man's days. How do you think that was done? Through our birth. I'm going to cut off the information. I'm going to cut off the divine knowledge right at the time. They said, see, I'm telling y'all, when you go back to those Old Testaments, there's some gods they talking about, not quite the God we thought he was. I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't ready to get into no spiritual battle about anything. First of all, I ain't gonna argue with anybody about what I'm saying, because I'm confident where my information comes from. It comes right. See, how we're birthing children today is one of the key reasons why we have a short lifespan, and why we don't have the knowledge we need. It's like we have amnesia. And then we get overwritten, that blank slate get overwritten with man's contracts, his laws, his reasoning on how you should live so that you can promote and support his establishment. I know that's a hard truth to realize. Wait a minute. I thought I go to church every week and I'm living for God. No, you ain't living for God. For most of these people ain't living for God. They're living for what man say they got to do. When you really look and slice it all up, because most people only spend Sunday in church. That's it. That's as far the extent of their worship. No going back and looking up the Bible, looking up scriptures, none of that. They hear the preacher said this out of this scripture. Oh, he gave a good word Sunday. That preacher sure can preach. As soon as they leave the church, they back where they started. It's almost like it's like a fix. You need your fix every Sunday because you ain't got it nowhere else. You're not taking charge of your spirituality nowhere else. Your only source of spirituality is when you go there on Sunday. No thinking about, let me pull up this Bible and see what this preacher talking about. Let me see if what he's saying is on point. Let me look at this. Let me see what this say. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know it said that. I didn't know it got prostitutes in the Bible. They were selling themselves in the Bible. I didn't know somebody in here was trading drugs for a husband. I didn't know there was a woman whose husband died and she dressed up as a prostitute, sat in the way, and then the king came by and he said, "This is where you know me. Here's he gave her a staff or something." Yeah, it says, yeah. If you really a student of the Bible, this Bible is a very conflicting book, meaning it has a lot of things that we don't even condone this day and age in here that was supported by God, Oh, I didn't know that, if I count the amount of times God killed somebody, it's a lot. But let me find that scripture where the devil killed somebody. Well, I'm through Genesis. I done got up to 2 Kings. Man, I'm in Revelation. Ain't nobody. Wait a minute. The devil ain't. They don't say nothing about the devil killing people. They say he misleads people. He tricks people. But he ain't never killed nobody. And then God is killing people because the devil disobeyed God and tricked Adam and Eve. But he killing us for his boy, the devil, the person he know better than anybody. He let him live and let him trick. But we get punished for, see, you'll get these questions. Why the devil get to run around running amok and then we supposed to be lesser beings than him, and we still trying to figure it out, but we get punished for it. Now the devil get to do whatever. Sound like favoritism to me. I'm messing with y'all. But I'm just trying to get y'all to see. Most people don't know any of that. You start talking some of that, well, you crazy. Where you get that from? Like I'll give you one here. I'm gonna go. I know I'm taking the side road. But see, this is another form of a contract. We bought into contracts and we have no idea what contract we bought in. We bought in the contract of the current theology and beliefs and systems that they gave us, and we ran with that, not really critically thinking. It says this. When this is when Adam and Eve sinned. It says, because you have done this, cursed are you among all animals and among all wild creatures. Upon your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. See, that's a symbolic stuff there, but we ain't gonna get into that. He will strike you in the head, and you will strike his heel. To whom he said, I will greatly, this is for the women, I will greatly increase your pangs of childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. See, and some scriptures say it differently. But he said the man was supposed to rule over the woman. And I'm talking to all those who have Christian faiths, right? That's the decree that God brought down. But the average woman, you bring that up. No, my husband ain't ruling over me, blah, blah, blah. But where then you don't believe in what this says. But y'all sitting up in church and don't even know what this says. Then not only did he go after he say that about the woman, he said this about the man. And to the man, he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree about which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. And in toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. And you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread until you return to the ground. So he condemned the man to a life of hard work and hardship. Meaning that the man purpose or thing he must do is work, hard work, and toil to get what he needs. This is according to these scriptures. But the average person has got into a contract and don't know what the contract says. Now realize this is a book of contracts and the rules of the Christian faith. But here, we got so many people, they wanna be a Christian, but they want to do all this other stuff outside of what that says. They want to make it that was back then, this and that. They want to say all of these things. No, well, I don't care what you. If that's back then use some other book. Because that book hasn't really changed a whole lot other than the revisions. What time is it? 10:57. I was just using those as an example. Doesn't represent what my belief systems are. What it represents is the book says one thing. And if you're not aligned with what this book say, then how do you call yourself a true believer? Now, I also teach this. The Bible has a metaphysical, physical, spiritual meanings, different meanings. And the only way you're going to understand all the meanings of this book, you have to really study it. And guess what? You got to study other stuff too, other faiths. Because once you start studying other faiths, you start to realize they all basically saying the same thing in different ways through different books. They are. And only a person who has really went in and learned through other faiths will know that. So when you see people who say, well, he's this, they're bad because they're that, then they have not studied that other faith to even make that. So they bought into a contract and they don't even know the truth. Let's see who's out there. We got a lot of people, man. We got a lot of people in the chat. Thanks for the thumbs up. I could use some more. He said, man, we've been doing it for a while now. Nothing like being able to make what you need to put in your body. Oh, yeah, he said he's been making, when we talking about the bread. Justin Locke says he got his hands up. Lady says, good day to all. Peace. Good day to you too, Oh, we're talking about the website. Cacnez4 says, peace to all. I think that's Hop Along. Grand Rising, Young King, peace. Grand Rising to you too as well. Thank you. He's brother, it's good to see you are still teaching, big brother. I'm listening and we'll be catching up. Thank you. Look forward to it. I came a long way from Hindsight Radio with you. Yeah, I got a lot of loyal, long-time followers. Thanks, and thank you for continue to follow. The Bible call it the Matrix. Samson mom got eye instruction and his dad too. I'm not sure. I missed the point of that. Oh, brother, great message today. Thank you. Lady thumbs up. Works without faith are dead? Absolutely. If you don't have faith, then you might as well just sit down. Relax, relate, release. And DJ, JOJ, peace and love, everyone. Love this ministry. Great way to start my week. Yeah. I love to give y'all something to start your week off with. But remember, you got to do the work. You got to pick up these books and learn and read. And read different things. Explore. I got some books that I read that people consider demonistic. And then when I read them, I'm like, wait a minute. This stuff, same stuff I'm reading out of the Bible. Yeah. Some of the stuff that they calling evil ain't so evil as y'all think it is. Like I had somebody have a problem with the all-seeing eye that I have, as a symbol. And at one time I was sitting there, maybe I need to take that down because I said, no, that's what it's going to stay up there. If you got a problem with it, then, I'm sorry to see you go if you can't listen to me because my all-seeing eye, my hindsight symbol. Sorry. I don't mean to offend, but I'm living out my truth, not yours. Okay? There's a reason why I got that all-seeing eye. There's a reason. It's a very personal reason. It came through several visions. I've told some of the stories, but ancestors, the spirit has told me, stop telling the story. That's that we gave you those visions for you. And in time, you will know the meaning of every one of those visions that you got. And it's for you. And all you got to do is live them out and work in it and let people see the work, see the vision through you. You don't have to tell them the vision. That's another thing. We got to let people see our divinity through our works, not through our words. Let me say it again. You have to let people see your divinity through your works, not through your words. Because sometimes your words can make you a liar, unintentionally or intentionally. So live it out. Okay? Discipleship minister. I was talking about the mother whom called the Matrix, and Samson's parents got a contract with good about what he should do. And okay, I got you. Got you. All right. Third eye. That's right. That is. It's the third eye. That eye represents it represents something bigger than that for me. But it also represents, like you said, the third eye, to be able to see without the naked eye, without the physical eye. And I'm going to close out on this note. Those of you who are elevating and doing their work and putting in and making yourselves making that legacy, and you can see what I'm saying, I want you guys to be very careful about what you say and do. Why? Because when you get to a certain place where you understand all of this stuff, you see the results of your words and your thinking and your mindset faster than the average person. Now, not that when people say things, they're not receiving their words. They are receiving it, but you get to see it faster because you are totally aware of your words. They're not. So by the time they realize that they're receiving what they're speaking and thinking, they way down the road. Because I can say this stuff and preach this stuff today, I'll see it in the next hour, next minute, because I'm aware. And because I'm aware, I get to feel it and experience it a lot faster because I'm aware. See, experiencing something comes through awareness of the something. Some people are receiving all kinds of things and they don't really get it because they're not aware. So they're sleepwalking. So just be mindful of that. Just stay on the watch. Because that negative word becomes like that. Negative thinking will come like a thief in the night and come and snatch your riches away, your divinity away, and put you into a negative state. Just be careful. All right? All right. It's 11:06. I'm gonna leave it to you. Thank you, everyone, for your support on these Sunday shows. Thank you for the Tuesday support. Thank you. Thanks to all of the people that joined me on the new CPN webinar. I'll have that video up on my website for you guys to be able to purchase it to help you in your journey. Somebody asked, Lady says, may you please suggest a reading start for removal of fear when changing for God's will? Oh. I don't think I could. Just plenty of books. There's a book called Conversations with God. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Conversation with God is written by Neil Donald Walsh. But I think most of all, to remove fear, the only book you need to look into is your book. Look in the mirror and say, I have no fear. There's nothing, whatever fear, what specifically kind of fear we talking about here? If you don't mind being a little more specific when you say fear, because we have fear of all kinds of things. I'll take that. If you want to share that in the chat. I'll give you a few minutes to type your response. Oh, checking while we waiting on that response. Peace truths about umbilical cord is heavy. Yes. Oh, that's easy. See, that's all about self control. And you said, okay, the answer, the removal of people that are negative. Okay, that's easy. But it can be hard for the person that's untrained. If you want to remove negative people, you stay positive. When they say something negative, you say something positive. You keep staying positive, guess what? They going to walk away. They going to leave. And if you have control over your environment, like in your house, and you put nothing on but positive, negative stuff, they going to walk away. I don't know. I don't know if this is a husband, boyfriend you're talking about. Maybe some people, you say people. You just stay positive. They say something negative and you meet it with a positive word. But let me be clear. If you got negative people in your life giving you negative vibes, saying negative things, then first you must check yourself and see what you saying to yourself that's negative, that these people are manifesting to you negative words. You got to take ownership. You're going to have to swallow that big pill. That you got to look at you. What do you say to yourself? What little words are you saying to yourself? How do you feel about yourself? What energy? What are you manifesting in your energy that these negative people are there? You see, or maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. Because if you're perceiving these people as negative, then you are being negative. You're casting judgment on people and calling them negative. See, I had to learn that. I used to be like that. I used to be, oh, that person negative. I gotta get away. I gotta get away. No. Your perception of them is negative. Change your perception of them. Change your way you see them, and watch how positive they'll become. Watch. Or they'll leave. One or the other. See, a lot of times people will teach from the perspective, just kick him. Don't call him. Don't pick up the phone. Don't do this. Don't do that. No, I'm telling you, change the way you see them. Even if they are being negative, even if they are saying negative things, still see them positive. Overlook their transgression of negativity and see them in a positive light. Oh, I know that's work. That's a lot for some people. I know that I ain't saying it's gonna happen for you right away, but what I'm saying is when you change the way you see them, the way you perceive them, the way you react to them into a positive interaction, what they say and do, man, it will have no effect on you, and you be like, oh, okay. It's like you cannot avoid leaving your house and going to the grocery store or going to your job or whatever, and there's negative people there all the time that's being negative, right? But if you hear no evil and see no evil and not perceive these people and cast judgment on them, it won't be as effective against you. Oh, man, you have to back away from that. Don't participate in their negativity by calling them negative or judging them as negative. Because remember, what you judge, you will be judged by the same hand or even more with the judgment you pass on. It's not in agreement with where you are and how they're speaking or doing. Okay, that's them. That's where they are in their life right now. They have to go through their journey and fulfill these contracts or that they put themselves in. So you gotta be careful. Keep your mind single, meaning work on self. You don't have to remove them. Negativity is removed from you the moment you take negative thoughts out of your head towards people and yourself and things. That's how you remove negative people and things. You remove the perception of them or that or this as being negative. That's how you remove it. You don't need a book. And go within. And when you feel that rise coming up in you of that negative self-talk or the negative talk of towards others, recognize it and change the way you think. See positive. I'm sure anybody, you can find something good about them. Said, I have learned to meet others where they are at. Yes, that's the best way to. Because eventually, what I notice, there's some people that are really not. They are negative. Let's be factual. There's some negative folks out there that's operating from a negative space. But when you're mainly in a place of positivity and changing and making things happen, they have no effect on you. You can see it and be around it, be exposed to it. It won't have any effect on you because you are totally aware of where your consciousness and where it goes at all times, or try to be in control of it at all times. Now, the trick on that is sometimes we do get off on a negative thought. Just being aware to bring yourself back, because that you will go there. Why? We're surrounded by all of this negative stuff. I hope that helps. Well, see, we have to isolate where the real issue is, and it's always right where we are. That man in the mirror, that woman in the mirror. That's where the issues really are. It's how we take and how we receive and how we react to our surrounding world. Remember, we perceive and then we react. We perceive and then we react. So really, we're reacting to not them. We're reacting to our own perception of them. All right? And with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. And before you go to bed, tell yourself, I am a divine manifestation of God. Peace. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.